We got into Denver on a rainy afternoon, but as soon as the weather was nice, we went around exploring downtown Denver, saw the beautiful art murals and landmarks. We even got to walk beside the Capitol building, which is a gorgeous building, as well as Denver's Riverwalk. There's a part where all 3 different rivers converged into one, which is pretty cool. We went to Denver Selfie Museum, which was a really cool space with different stations set up for you to take some really good selfies. And of course, the main reason we went to Denver was to celebrate my friend's 30th birthday. So we got to hang out with him at the hotel. There's a rooftop pool. We had a little pool party despite the rain. And we went to a drag show in the evening that was packed. And then we went with my friend and his boyfriend to Manatee Springs, which is where they live. We took a little road trip. Well, we stopped at this hamburger place, this little side stroll type of place. I don't know what you call it, but they had the best burgers there. After lunch, we kept on driving to get to Manitou. We passed through Garden of the Gods, and then we got into Manatee Springs, which is super quaint little town with lots of cool local shops and eateries. We looked at this penny arcade that had vintage games, all for like a penny or a nickel to play. And we saw just some random shops selling all types of stuff. They also had some beautiful murals, just like Denver. And then the next day we got on the Cogway Rail. It was a 1-hour train journey up Pike's Peak, elevation 14,000. I got sick. But after that, me and my boyfriend started driving further west. We took the scenic route, something called Independence Passageway, which is only open in the summer and the fall. It's a road that you can only travel on during certain months. Beautiful scenery. I'm going to be quiet and let you enjoy the scenes. That hair is blowing. What was less scenic were the toilets. They were horrendous. But we kept traveling this road to Aspen, which is a really cute, ritzy little area. We kept seeing these little fluffy things. We didn't know what they were. And then we realized they were coming from trees. They're like this little, I don't know, like these little pods, spores. But we drove to a place called Maroon Bell, which was just a gorgeous stop along our journey. After Maroon Bell, we got in a car and we kept driving west. We eventually made it to Grand Junction, Colorado, and stayed in this Days Inn, which had bugs on the ceiling, bugs in the bed, bugs in the shower. It was terrible. But what wasn't terrible was we only spent one night there, and then we got to go to the Colorado National Monument Park, which, again, just gorgeous scenery. After this, we continued on our journey westward and made it into Utah. We were in Utah for 2 days and we visited Arches Park 3 different times. We always try to go at off-peak hours because this park is extremely popular. And also when you go at sunrise or sunset, you just get the best pictures. You just don't see scenery like this in Florida, so it was just incredible looking out the car and seeing all of these rock formations. We learned at the Natural History Museum that this used to be a ocean at one point. In addition to driving around the park, we of course also put in some leg work, and we did probably about 6 miles of hiking. With that, we said goodbye to Arches National Park. But while we were in Utah, we also visited a second national park called Canyonlands. We went at sunset and the views were amazing. Before leaving Utah, we stopped at a cafe that had the most amazing donuts, best donuts of our life. And then we got in a car and we drove back east to Colorado. We chose a different route than how we got to Utah, so we weren't just retracing our steps. And again, we took the scenic route, so it took us about 9 hours instead of 5. Back in Denver, we got to doing some tourist things like the Natural History Museum. We saw some dinosaur bones, as well as a planetarium show, which was pretty cool. There are some things in the museum that were 65 million years old. I have to talk about Little B street food because this was some of the best food that we had on our trip. I ordered a sandwich that came in a cup with a fork. It was bulgogi beef and it was crazy good. We also went to Tattered Covers bookstore. Picked up 2 books. I love independent bookstores. I always try to go to one. And then we got around on public transit in Denver. This is the RTD light rail system, which is very convenient. It got us to Uncorked Kitchen for our cooking class. That was Sushi 2.0, a night of sushi. We started the class with everyone getting some sake and having a toast. I guess one of these will be our stations. Yeah. I saw the sushi rice is already made.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Good night, man. Yeah. Don't judge us. We have some more food shots. This was from Delectable Egg. They specialize in breakfast foods. So good. It was cool visiting the botanical gardens again because I came here for the first time with my sisters and it was like a completely different experience this time. I don't remember it being this big or this lush, but we saw some really cool plants and animals. So this was interesting. It was an old church converted into like this arcade thing. But we bought tickets for a light show. So in a few moments, you'll see the inside of, I guess, the cathedral that was like painted all these weird, funny colors. And they turned off the lights, and it was like this light show experience, which was pretty cool. Probably not worth $35, and they also might be a cult. This place had hot sake, which is something I've never had before, and some really great ramen. Then we headed back to our hotel, watched some fireworks, and headed out the next day. Bye, Denver! And thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure you like it if you like it, and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on any future videos. Until next time.